This is the first winner bracket quarterfinal of the WGL European Qualifier. This is once again the bracket that we have here for you today and tomorrow. In the upper part, we have 3 Russians with Hawk versus Please and Happy versus Thorzain. That is our first match right here. Human Night Elf, Human Undead. In the lower part of the upper bracket, we have Foggy versus Johnny Cage and Cash versus Ente. We will show Cash versus Ente then afterwards. It's a match between Russia and Sweden. Thorzain, though, part of the Soviet war elites. Maybe there is a little connection to Russia in the end. Here we have the map selection. As you can see, Happy gets rid of Echo Isles and Terrana Stands, 2 maps where it's easy to expand. Thorzain, Twisted Meadows and Concealed Hills. So this leaves us with Last Refuge first, and then Northern Isles still up for grabs, as well as Amazonia. And here are your 2 players. Both 2 former StarCraft players. Both 2 former Evil Genius players. But only one of them can make it to the winner bracket semi-final. Who's it gonna be? The micro monster Happy or the biggest brain in European Warcraft, Thorzain? Oh boy, what a match!
Yeah, this is super exciting. Guys, okay, let's strap in, let's buckle up. This is gonna be 2 of the best players colliding here for a chance at Shanghai. Thank you very much, Fummelhout, for the sub as well. So, what are we seeing? What is gonna be played? As we said earlier, Thorzain, you cannot predict this guy. He can play any strategy, and he makes strategies work that are by many players, especially in China, considered to be not viable. Pally Rifles is such an example, and this is certainly looking like a Pally Rifle build here, if you ask me. We have the Blacksmith coming with the Altar and the Barracks, starting off with those snipers right away.
He was doing so great with his rifle builds in the best of 7 show match before. And they played each other like once again in the Sweden versus Russia show match. That was a 1-0 for Happy, but come on, best of 1, that doesn't really count too much. In the normal Archmage Footman games, Happy seemed superior, but once it was Pally Rifles or Bloodmage Rifles, I cannot wait to see this unfold because it was so damn different and so damn good. In the upper right, Happy, the dominator of every European competition, the winner of the MTW Legendary Cup, starting off with Tet Fiends.
Seems that they're cutting out there for me. Are we still on?
Yes,
Pally first it is, obviously. The DK here will be quite a bit earlier.
Okay, are you still with me?
Yeah, now I can hear you again. Could
Okay.
you? Okay. Now we're back. Now we're back.
Sweet.
Okay. So, yeah, this strat is gonna give a very potent army to Thorzain. The rifles, once they're high number and the heroes are high level, it's super hard to deal with this, but it takes a long time to come online. So what is Happy's response gonna be? Some undeads say that the hard counter to this is fast expansion. I was considering that as well for a while, and at the Iron Couch, that is exactly what X-Lord told me. Like, fast expansion is an easy way to play against this, but that is not what Happy is doing here. He's going for a bit of creeping first and starting off with a very fast tech on his side.
Replenishment Potion, one of the best items here for him. The base for Thorzain is pretty open, so Skeleton Harass absolutely possible, even though he's covering a lot of ground with this Arcane Tower once it comes up. Paladin is the hero, no surprise Blood Mage play. And with a bit of militia support, he will catch up in creeping now, but I guess with still 2 Rods of Necromancy and the Replenishment Potion and close to level 2, Happy has decent harassment potential in the early game.
And with the coil, you can always try to steal those last hits. The Holy Light, of course, only works on undead units, so you can't secure the last hits with that, as an MK with Stormbolt might be able to. And AM also has the range advantage, has the water elemental advantage, so it's easier to harass a DK. All that means that the Paladin isn't so good at dealing with a harassing Death Knight, and now with him hitting level 2 here with Happy, he's coming over and wants to steal some of those juicy last hits, just like that one, and he gets it.
Alright, Holy Light spam, of course, can get Thorzain some kills as well and can pressure this DK. But don't forget about the Replenishment Potion. Paladin got this and will rise up to level 2 right here for the Devotion Aura immediately. That Aura was considered useless. Nice snipe by Happy here to get the last hit. that was considered useless but was buffed, and now the rifles and basically the entire human army is benefiting a lot from this. +2.
I thought Thorzain was gonna go teching here. Yes, a late tech on one base, but I thought he was gonna tech, but no, he is actually going for the tier 1 expansion at around 35 supply. This is gonna be backed up by a very strong army with a paladin getting closer to level 3. 5 rifles out already. Happy at the moment only has 2 fiends, no more rods of necromancy. You shouldn't be able to get too much damage done here. The best thing to find would actually be the ogre magi last hit. Oh! Did he get it? He did get it! Oh my god.
Got it, indeed. Circle of Nobility for the Paladin, but good damage to these Riflemen. Paladin down to 100 mana only, and there's no Brilliance Aura to back this up. Happy was totally expecting this move, as it seems, as he's pressuring pretty damn early with 2 Fiends and this DK. But now there's no coils anymore, but man, did he get damage done or what? 2 creeps stolen, and he's already on tier 2, pushing soon with the Lich, I guess.
The replenishment here now very helpful, as there was, as he was entirely out of mana. If the Paladin had gotten those last hits, he would either be level 3 right now, or he would basically be there. And of course, when you creep with the Paladin and rifles, nothing is really too good at tanking. The Paladin is okay, but especially like poison creep camps like the Gnolls are really tough to take. And now these last steals are turning out to be a very big deal indeed. It's really hard now for the Paladin to get his level 3.
And there's only one tower here. Thorzain was always playing low on the static defense in his show match games against Happy. Unlucky and Snare. Might be a kill, might be 2 kills here actually. With 3 Fiends only, Lich is not really ready yet. But damage, this is so much damage already to these rifles.
Happy's spreading the damage pretty well as well. It's not like one Holy Light heals up everything. And the Paladin, he's basically out of mana. The DK has 2 coils left, and this is not looking very good for Thorzain. The Lich is going to be coming in a second. This is where the pressure mounts.
Oh, trying for the Fiends around here. So confident in his micro. But the Paladin, as big as he is, squishes through here. The tower just started the upgrade now, and the Lich is ready. Can't wait for the first Nova. Looking really good for Happy on map number 1. Nova, okay. Kills 1 rifle. I think that could have been done better here at the 3 rifles, but this doesn't matter too much, I guess. This is just too much to handle for Thorzain.
Militia coming in, though. They are going to be a help here. And so far, only 1 rifle has died, but it could certainly be becoming more in just a second. The shop would be such a massive pickup for Thorzain. He needs that regen desperately, but Happy not allowing it just yet. Long-range coil saves that fiend. Nova executes 1 more rifleman. Lich doesn't have the mana for another Nova here, and the DK doesn't have either, so perhaps Thorzain can finally breathe a sigh of relief and hold on here, but no, not really. These fiends here are still a big threat.
And the shop is not coming up. He can't get the clarities. He can't get the heal scroll. Happy is looking like the dominating master that a lot of people expected him to be. With more and more kills, the next kill is possibly level 3. And that would mean a level up here. Oh, Thorzain turning around for 1 more shot. Saving that rifleman for now. Holy Light saving the second rifleman. But statues, long range coil, that was necessary for that level 3. GG, well played. Happy stomps Thorzain into the ground in map number 1.
Wow. That was really impressive. And I think that kind of came down to those 2 last hit steals. If that doesn't happen, Thorzain gets quicker level 3. One mistake perhaps by Thorzain, the shop. Shouldn't he have gone for an earlier shop? If he has, if he's not greedy, make an expansion and make the shop immediately. Having clarities, having heal regen scrolls could have been a massive help. But he was trying to cut a few corners there, light on the towers, late on the shop. And Happy wouldn't have any of it.
Maybe the tier 1 expansion also not the best thing. In previous games he played a tier 2 expansion, and that seemed to be way better actually. But Happy knew it all. He had a good start. He was at Thorzain's side of the map basically immediately. And he saw every movement, every creep, everything that Thorzain was going for. And yeah, I think Thorzain also not playing around the last hit too well. We've seen this better.
On the Ogre Magi, it was so close. It was like 0.001 or something. That was such a split second only. I don't know if we can blame him for that. But
against
yeah, in
Happy,
general,
you need these split seconds and maybe a little bit of luck. But alright, map number 2 is coming in as Thorzain decides to go for Amazonia.
Alright. It's going to be a much harder expansion map if Thorzain wants to play this here. It's also going to be a much harder Paladin Rifles map, and for that reason, this is not what we're seeing. This is the normal build Thorzain is starting off with. This will be an Archmage, this will be footies. Can be a 1-base play, can be a 2-base play. It's really a player preference thing. Hawk, for example, despite the fact that this is a rather hard expansion map, will certainly play expansion here. He is the fast expanding kind of player. Thorzain, can't really be locked down too easily. Sometimes he plays 1-base, sometimes he plays 2-base, and you can't even predict his heroes.
Alright, in the upper right, from the Soviet War Elite clan from Sweden, we have Thorzain, and in the blue, it's of course Happy, representing Russia. Not signed for a team, not playing the team leagues, only focusing on himself and himself only. Thank you very much, Fommelhaut, Mostar, Burstenvik, Howney, and Delticast for the subs. Mostar for 30 months already. We thank you very much.
So it is the AM here, no grand surprise. Every blue moon you would see an MK here, but that's too dangerous. The camps are too hard. You will be dropping too low, and Happy already showed, like, honestly, the last game, there weren't many windows of opportunity. Almost every undead player wouldn't have been able to shoot those last hits, wouldn't have been able to contest this expansion so well. And that's the thing, like, when you're Thorzain practicing your games against whoever, normally that stuff works, but against Happy, some of that stuff just doesn't work.
Exactly. And I think Happy feels really confident in this matchup. As we saw, he wanted to surround with Fiends, which is basically impossible on this level. But okay, let's see if he tries it again, or if he's going for an expansion this time. But usually, as you pointed out earlier, he has his idea of a matchup, he has his build order and his strategy, and he plays it no matter what. And again, not going for the laboratory, not going for the lightning shield creep is Happy. Thorzain is doing it with the lightning shield against the 2 rogues and the militia against the renegade. Pretty much the fastest you can creep this camp. Happy's not going in for the last hit here. Circlet, no deny, and the acolyte kill. That's level 2.
So far so good for Thorzain. Happy came over for the instant harass, hoping to ideally steal some last hits. Oh, the water elemental block against the DK. Damn! Thorzain, we've seen these outstanding early game moves from him before, but now his AM is almost stuck there against the corner. When he drops so low, this is scary. With him being so low, an expansion would already be super hard to pull off, but he's not doing that. He is teching here instead. But at the moment, DK, 0 experience, AM, level 2. So far so good for the human.
Alright, Skeletons in the main, defended by Footman, and he's also... okay, losing 1 peasant here, most likely. The guards are helping the peasants, helping the working men. That's how it's supposed to be. Another aggressive coil, he has 2 more, but that is still not enough to kill this Archmage. Frostborn comes in for some more right clicks. Happy in the meantime, taking 2 tier 2. How much sort of necromancy does he have? Still 2 charges. He needs a corpse, I feel.
Yeah, the camp, there's still a couple of corpses remaining. Finally, Happy gets the first kill here onto a peasant, but that took a lot of effort, dude. That took forever, honestly. AM, not interested in defending in his own base, is moving across aggressively, going for the green camps on the opponent's side of things. The Arcane Tower is going to be done in a moment, and then these skeletons will be much easier to deal with. And the AM climbing up further and further here in experience, and as we saw from the blacksmith, this is going to be rifles once again.
Okay, I thought Happy would be there for a coil, but no. This is kind of smart. This camp is dangerous because of the poison, and you don't want to attack with too many footmen, but if you only have a water elemental and an archmage, fairly easy to do. And closer to level 3, can easily take out this one. And you're right, that's gonna be level 3 then. Thank you very much, Flo Waffles, for the €5 donation. You guys deserve some sleep tonight, and money is the best mattress. Thank you very much.
Nice around on the water elemental. Should be a bit more experience here for Happy. One thing that these peasants, that these skeletons certainly did though, was force a lot of militia time. So you can see Thorzain here doesn't have the most lumber. He can go for the MK and soon after the, what's it called? The Sanctum, certainly. But if he wanted to go for a tier 2 expansion, that is not going to be doable.
Yeah, that's true. He can go for a Shredder, but that's also very, very expensive. He does have a little tech advantage, so maybe he can squeeze it in. Happy at the moment only doing stuff with skeletons, so he's not sacrificing anything. Thorzain again with aggressive movement. Now the DK comes in. If he steals his Taskmaster, that's a lot of time. Gets the second Water Elemental, and yeah, second time and a lot of experience here. Thorzain, with this invested time, he needs this Taskmaster.
DK only level 1 here. Every bit of damage he takes is going to be hard to recover from. But the lumber problem was even more severe than I thought. Only now the Mountain King is coming. This is like almost a minute late. This is how important and how helpful this lumber harass can be. Thorzain there perhaps once again a little bit greedy. That Arcane Tower came up really late. That could have been a lot earlier. And now he's feeling the cost of it.
Yeah, he prioritized the Sanctum over the Mountain King. Don't know if we agree with that choice.
A priest for the AM is going to be a big help, especially with the Lich gracing us with his presence here soon. But yeah, certainly not ideal. The Lich is a little bit faster than the Mountain King is. We have double Slaughterhouse coming up for Happy. He's getting ready for the mass A-bombs against his rifle play.
Okay.
Wait, does he have 0 Fiends?
Yeah.
He's taking tier 3 with 0 Fiends?
Yep. This is the ultra tier 3 rush. Statues first into A-bombs, must be the case. So here comes Coil Nova. Who's gonna get the Taskmaster? The big question here. Oh, nice Nova into the Footman. That's level 2. And the Coil secures the kill. Happy again, one step ahead.
One more Nova is ready. The big kill here is the rifle, but he goes for the surefire kill onto the instead. May not have Fiends, but has a couple of skeletons still here. Now comes the Mountain King. And if he had been earlier, none of this would have been possible, but yeah, he was delayed. But at the same time, Happy with having no Fiends at all, he's pretty limited with what he can do.
A player's forces are under attack.
Well, he can creep his laboratory. That's fairly easy to do. Statues are... Well, he's going 3 statues. That is... Destroyers, then.
Yeah, I guess 3 statues, and then Destroyer form upgrade, morph one of them, and then A-bombs, I guess. He's gonna go Crypt Lord as well, I believe. But Thorzain, he is now expanding by the looks of it. Seems like the lumber is working out okay. And yeah, with the super greedy build by Happy, he cannot contest that at all, I guess.
It will definitely take some time until he has an army up that can fight this against Militia as well. But this will delay the tier 3 by a lot. We don't have a lumber mill, despite the low lumber in general. So no masonry upgrades and no guard towers at all.
Going into a heavy destroyer push is really scary though. When you're already going up against rifles, if there's like a high number out of for them, I don't know, 8 perhaps, with upgrades, destroyers usually don't win that fight, unless there's super strong heroes to back them up, I guess. Crypt Lord though, only gonna be coming out in a moment. Lich level 2, DK not even level 3. And this is something that we've been seeing from Happy also in other matchups against Night Elf, for example, skipping out on the early game entirely, trying to rush the tier 3. He's gonna get those tier 3 units soon, but like how much he gets done in the meantime is, well, not that much, simply.
Mountain King is still holding on to his second skill point. We don't know if it's gonna be Clap or Bash. We go Destroyers now. Disease Cloud before the first Abomination, to have that immediately when the first A-bomb joins the fray. Level 3 Mountain King with this. And the Archmage is harassing, seeing the Crypt Lord, seeing the Destroyer, seeing the Creep, and he's deciding to jack this.
Cool thing about this build for Happy, yes, it's weak for a long time, but there's like no Stormbolt kill targets. There's no Fiends here. He can try to go for heroes, but they're not gonna die. MK is level 3 now, so has a strong Stormbolt, but yeah, can't really find the kills.
Bash it is, so he needs to be a little bit lucky. DK, of course, can't coil himself, so that's always a decent target. But there's a TP. He has 2 gauntlets and the ring as well, so it shouldn't be nukeable. There was a nice little bash, getting some extra damage in.
Yeah. Only level 1 coil here at the moment makes it pretty tough to heal up these high HP units with the A-bombs and the Crypt Lord. But I think Thorzain is playing it really well. Getting up as an expansion and then making sure these undead heroes don't get out of control. Because no matter how big a rifle army you have, if it's 4-4-3 heroes against you, and is Happy controlling it, there's no way you're winning this.
Okay, going for the DK again. Really wants this TP. Nice Nova into the back line. Nice save of this DK as well. The casters are falling very fast, but the damage is still on the ground. Oh, Coil last second, but there's another Stormbolt. Can he swap something? The TP, yes. He's... Oh, the bash! Not following it up with the hammer, though. Maybe with a quicker response he gets that. I'm not too sure about the cooldown. But the TP is gone. Expo is still up. Thorzain, it's looking better for him.
I'm pretty sure that was still on cooldown. 8 seconds. Probably wasn't quite ready to do that yet. Thorzain doesn't want to give up his... Happy doesn't want to give up his natural here. Big consumable would be a great help for him along with all the experience. Oh, greater healing potion for the MK. But the Crypto tries to steal it with the Impale. Stuns the second hero of the human. But now Lich in trouble. Thorzain mad after this steal. Wants to get some kills of his own. More mana on the MK, using the one of mana stealing there as well. The DK still with the only level 1 coil. Nova hitting the backline once again. Happy needs a few more kills, and that is finally his level 3.
And an Impale is imminent as well. Mountain King in a little bit of focus. Gets on the DK to prevent the coil. Oh, but he gets that rifle in the end. Man, Happy, what a marvelous comeback. This Impale to steal the consumable. How freaking good was that? And the Lich in constant focus. Now he has the greater healing. This reminds me of the game of Happy versus Foggy on this very map, where 10,000 damage was going onto that Lich, and Happy was able to save him over and over and over and over and over again.
It's so impressive how Happy, with staying at perfect range, with perfect spell usage, is able to stand here in these fights with like only one A-bomb for the longest time. Trying to counter-expand there with the Acolyte, but that gets intercepted and slapped down.
Happy has no TP. Happy has no TP. He's backed against the corner. Huh?
Neither does Thorzain. No invuls, no TPs here. This is super scary.
No clap either that could deal with these A-bombs. Nice Impale once again. Breakers in the front line getting nuked immediately. Double Abomination reinforcement. 59 supply for the Russian. 59 for the Swede as well. Ooh, this is scary for Thorzain though. Nice disable once more. Even Militia coming in. But everything is bruised. No heal scroll.
It feels like Thorzain doesn't quite have the damage. Finally might be able to pick up an A-bomb over there. No, there is once again the coil ready in time, and the Lich has so much more mana to use. Level 3 now himself. This fight is all over the place, which is exactly what these A-bombs want. And the poison is being spread, the disease. One A-bomb will fall. More destroyers being morphed. Not too much region here anymore for Happy, I guess. And the next A-bomb is falling. Perhaps Thorzain can win this fight.
But the damage is lacking. He's losing rifleman after rifleman. So much experience for the Russian. Another Impale is hitting this army. Nothing to save this MK. As you said, no TP. GG by Thorzain. He finds himself in the winner in the lower bracket. Happy 2-0 here in the battle of these two giants. For a second, I thought this looks pretty good for Thorzain after the first big fight there at the 6 o'clock. But damn, was that a rebound from Happy, who is now in the winner bracket semifinal.
Yeah,
why so aggressive though?
That was extremely well played by Happy once again. Like, holding off against this human force with a level 2 DK, with skipping fiends entirely, just relying on one destroyer, one A-bomb for so long. In Europe, only Happy can do that. Nobody else can. That was just insane. But yeah, after the TP, maybe just fall back. Go for heal scrolls. Go for invuls. Go for upgrades. Get to 70 supply. But I guess perhaps he was afraid that the counter expansion might be coming up, and then numbers might be becoming too high for Happy as well.
He was sniping
calls for Thorzain.
The Acolyte there at the south. Maybe with some water elementals to send in, he can keep good tabs, creep the north. I don't know. I wasn't as nearly as impressed with Thorzain's play as I was in the show match. A little unfortunate, but maybe just Happy was on point. There weren't many mistakes. There was an opening for Thorzain where he could punish what Happy is doing, but then it was double Slaughterhouse A-bombs, and that was too much in the end.
I think a lot came down to that skeleton harass, honestly. Like, if he doesn't suffer in the lumber so much as he did, if he just has an earlier arcane tower, or perhaps pops a water elemental into the main, something like that, he's gonna have higher lumber on tier 2, and then you can make MK right away, make Sanctum right away, Militia creep, the natural, expand instantly on tier 2, right away. Happy had nothing to deal with that, nothing. He had no fiends at all. But there were so many moments in that game where Happy just barely squeezes out a little bit more, gets that extra 1 or 2% of damage or whatever, you know, of perfect movement, and makes the life of Thorzain harder than anyone ever did before in that matchup when he was practicing.
And I think it was Thorzain's plan to do exactly the opposite, to make Happy's life as hard as possible. That's why he stole the creep camp, the Murloc camp. He was trying to steal the Kobold camp, but it wasn't as fast as it needed to be, I think. And then Happy got a lot of last hits. Thorzain was losing a lot of time, plus that skeleton harass, plus not getting the consumable at the 6 o'clock. There was all those things adding up. And then in the end, with the expansion up, I don't see a reason for Thorzain to push this. He saw a chance, of course, knowing that Happy has no TP. I guess the situation is a lot different if he has a heal scroll, for example. But alright. That didn't really work out, and Thorzain finds himself in the lower bracket. Happy will face the winner of Hawk and Please, and it's looking good for the human there as he's leading 1-0. You can find that game on twitch.tv/hi2chaco. Our next game is most likely going to be a little delayed, as Cash can only play... Enter can only play a little later, but we will find time to show you something in the break. We go into a little break, and the next game is coming up pretty soon. Did you expect this to happen like that? 2-0? Tell us what you think about that. And send us some questions if you want. See you in a bit.